Hello, stranger. It is April from Getting Cocoa With It. It's been a little while. I am filming this on September 24th and haven't seen you since like August 31st. It's been a while. I know I took a little break. I needed a little breaky break. I did Everyday August. If you guys are new here, I filmed a video and posted a video every single day in August. And then I was tapped out. I was slightly exhausted and needed a break. And so I took it and I decided to only film when I got that itch. And here we are. It was like 24 days. I needed 24 days, even though you're not going to see this until just before October begins. But I did want to do my October TBR with you. I don't know if you're noticing anything different around here. Like, I'm in my new little office. I feel like a lot has happened since I sat down with you last. Yeah, the library is ready to go, mostly. I'm still waiting on a couple of things. I'm waiting on a table lamp. I'm waiting on a coffee table. So there is still a work in progress, but it's so nice to be in here. I'm like still working from home. So I've got my little desk in here. It's so nice. I genuinely love this space. Got all my books in here. And here we go. We're doing the first video. I am getting my hair cut tomorrow. I will say more things might change. I don't know what I'm going to do with my hair. So the next video that I do, I may not be able to do this. How short am I going? Am I doing layers? I don't know. Should I do curtain bangs? I'm just going to go and see. But that is neither here nor there. We are doing my October TBR. The cup, of course, will be back. But first, I wanted to share something with you. I'm changing it up slightly, which is my book club over on Patreon. If you don't know, I have a little book club, which is so much fun. We read a book together every single month. I vlog my way through it, and that goes over to my patrons to enjoy. It's very spoiler-filled vlogs, that's for sure. I used to pick them really, really far in advance. But I decided that I would change that up a little bit. So if you want to join our book club, you can join today, and then tomorrow by 11:59 p.m. we will have chosen the book. So I will tell you the theme for this month for our little book club is marriages that just go wrong, where you just don't know if you really know your spouse. I thought something creepy, unsettling for October would be good. I was actually surprised that I didn't end up choosing a horror book kind of genre or theme, but I went this route. So we've got two books to choose from. My patrons are already at this moment battling it out over on Patreon to decide what it's going to be. And if you want to join in and battle it out with them, you're welcome to. The first book is a book that just was released in September. This is Alice Feeney's Rock, Paper, Scissors. This sounds like so much fun. I love Alice Feeney so much. Mr. and Mrs. Wright have been working too hard, and their marriage is not crumbling, but it's not doing great, okay? So they win a weekend getaway to Scotland. And they're like, this is exactly what we need. It's perfect. Our anniversary is right around the corner. Let's go away and just rekindle, you know? So they do go away. And they're going to do the traditional gift giving. And one thing that Mrs. Wright does every anniversary is she writes a letter to Mr. Wright. And she writes this letter, and usually she's never shown him the letter. It's like strangely secret to her. I don't know the point of that, but whatever. This year she decides to give the letter to him. And I think that there's going to be a big, huge secret in that letter. The big twist, element of surprise that is involved with this book is Mr. Wright suffers from face blindness. Maybe suffers is the wrong word. He deals with face blindness, and he's dealt with it his entire life, which means that he doesn't recognize people's faces. So he does not recognize his wife by looking at her. He recognizes it through her actions, through her voice, I imagine, how she acts, all of those things. And apparently one of them is lying. It sounds like a lot of fun if you're asking me. So we could read Rock, Paper, Scissors. And then there is also Mrs. March by Virginia Feito, I think is how you pronounce her last name. And this is about the March family. George March is a phenomenal novelist. He's really well known. His wife is very proud of him. He's just recently come out with a book. She hasn't read it. She goes to the supermarket and someone comes up to her and says, "What do you think about the rumor going around that he is named and, written his latest character, who is very unlikable? He's written her after you." And she's like, "What?" And she goes home and she's very surprised. And I imagine she reads the book and she starts to question her relationship with her husband. She also starts to question everything she's known about her past. She actually goes snooping in his office and she finds these newspaper clippings about a missing woman. And so she starts wondering, did her husband have anything to do with this? Can she trust her husband at all? Did he actually write this book and have this horrible character with her in mind as the inspiration? That sounds like so much fun. So we could read Mrs. March. So that's over to my patrons and you if you would like to join the deadline for voting for that. Again, like I said, will be 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, October 1st. So I hope that you'll join. Okay, now it's over to the cup. We have to figure out what I'm going to pick. I have to pick out 4 prompts from the cup. I'll go to my shelves, pick a bunch of books that feel good for October, and hopefully I'll get through them all. That usually doesn't happen, but let's shuffle. Oh God, oh, everything went everywhere. Okay, first prompt, this one, series. So I have to go to my shelves, find the series that I'm either in the middle of or a series I want to start, and read that for October. Let's go and find some. Okay, I've got it. So I am currently, as I'm filming this, I am currently reading Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman. This is the beginning of the Practical Magic series. So I've read Rules of Magic. This is the prequel. This is the beginning of the whole thing. So I will have finished this, hopefully, by October. And if that happens, then I could move right along to Practical Magic, which is where the whole series started. She wrote it out of like chronological order. So Practical Magic is about the Owens women, and they're basically cursed. They're witches, but they're cursed. And anytime they fall in love, something terrible happens to the person that they fall in love with. I believe that started with Maria Owens from Magic Lessons. And you follow the Owens family. And I think in this one you follow 2 sisters. There's also like a famous movie with Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock that I watched a million years ago. I think that would be a really lovely thing to read, especially for October. It's witchy. You know, that would be good. So I'd be happy to read Practical Magic, that's for sure. And then I've only got 2 for this prompt. The other thing that I'd love to continue along with, that I'm surprised I've dragged my feet with this, is reading The Fire Witness by Lars Kepler. So this is the third book in the Junalina series. I started with The Hypnotist, really enjoyed that, moved on to the second in the series, which I'm forgetting what that was called, The Nightmare, and I really didn't like that one. So the second book kind of made me nervous about continuing the series, but I gotta be strong. I gotta be strong and go for it because I like the first one so much. So this one does sound really good. Juno has been called to the scene of a horrific crime. A murder has happened at a group home for teenage girls. One of the girls is dead, one of them is missing, and the police have found a bloody hammer under the missing girl's bed. They think they know who the killer is. However, she is still missing. This girl is still missing, and Juno gets involved. And that sounds like a lot of fun. In my weird and twisted mind, it's time to pick another prompt. Let's go like right to the edge here. Mood read. Okay. So I get to pick anything that I'm feeling like reading right now. This will be easy for me. Hopefully it'll be easy. I have 3 books for this prompt. 3. I was good before and now I just want all the books. The first book I want to share with you is a book that I actually took out from the library after watching Victoria from What Victoria Reads mention this book. It's a horror book that sounds creepy and fun. I think it might even be YA, and I'm still here for it. This is Say Her Name by James Dawson. In 5 days, she will come. So this follows, I think, 2 teenage girls, Bobby and Naya. They are dared by a classmate to summon the legendary ghost of Bloody Mary. Who didn't do this? Like, did anyone else? I'm assuming everybody did this in high school, where you stand in front of the mirror and say Bloody Mary 5 times and they think, oh, nothing's gonna happen, and then something happens. It's so silly, but I really love the idea of this book. It just sounds like fun. Victoria said that she was actually scared reading it, so I have high hopes for this one for me. So I could read that. I think I would really like to, actually. It would be so much fun. Another book I would love to read is They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. This does have academia vibes, and I will say through September, you'll see in a What I've Been Reading Lately wrap-up video that's coming up pretty soon. I've been really reaching for a lot of books that are centered around schools, that kind of thing. There's something about definitely September for sure. I'm assuming I'll still feel those vibes going into October, but you never know. So this follows 2 characters. We follow an English professor named Scarlett Clark, and every year she looks for a man being very, very bad on campus. Someone who is taking advantage of women most of the time. And she kills them, which is so much fun. It's so much fun. We also follow Carly Schiller, who is a student on campus. She is extremely upset when her roommate is assaulted on campus, and she wants to exact revenge. I'm assuming that these 2 women and their ideals and plans collide. It sounds like so much fun. It sounds a lot like Promising Young Woman, and that's the whole reason that I picked this up. I loved Promising Young Woman. If you haven't watched that movie yet, oh, honey, you were in for just the biggest treat of your life. So I hope that this will feel like that. So that sounds really good. And then a book that I keep putting on my TBRs and I haven't been getting to them, but if this wasn't on my TBR, I'd be upset, and that might happen until I read it. So I should probably just go ahead and read it in October. This is False Witness by Karen Slaughter. I love Karen Slaughter so much. Her movies, or her books, I should say, are starting to be picked up by Hollywood. I think Pieces of Her is coming out on Netflix. So that's very exciting because she's such a riveting kind of thriller writer, very, very gritty author. And False Witness is apparently no exception to the rule. We follow a lawyer. She's a defense lawyer. Her name is Lee. Things are pretty good in her life. She's happily married, has a great kid, you know, is an attorney, doing well financially. And her firm are up against the latest challenge, is taking care of all of these women who have accused a man, a wealthy man, of raping them. And so our main character has to defend this guy. I think she might be used to that kind of thing in her line of work, but this one hits really close to home because when she gets to the jail, I'm assuming he's in jail, maybe not. When she meets him, she recognizes him and she knows that he recognizes her. And she has a past that she really wants to keep hidden from her family. And the only way to keep her past hidden from her family is to get him off all of these counts of rape. And it's really looking like he did this to several women. And so she has to work against her own, I guess, belief system. It sounds incredible. I love Karin Slaughter. I really want to read this. So fingers crossed. If I can get to all of these, I would be very happy, as you can imagine. Okay. Let's go over here. What's this? Ooh, color you were wearing on the cover. Why do I always get this one? What is going on? Is this bent strangely? Do you think, is there something weird about this? But I keep getting this one. So what am I wearing? Let's talk about that. Okay, so I'm wearing a beautiful shawl. It's black and it's got some like brown bits in it. Am I selling this? Yes. Maroon. Let's see what I can see. I actually might go through the pile I've got in front of me and see if there's anything there as well. I'll look around. I'll come back. Okay, so I've got a couple. First of all, I think say my name or say her name actually works really well with the shirt, the red kind of, the black, all of that. So that's already on my TBR. There's that. I could also read Kill Creek, and this takes place on Halloween night. And it's horror. I feel like this would be a really good time to read this. This is about several horror authors. They are invited to spend the night in one of the most haunted homes, I think in the US or in the entire world. It's the most infamous of haunted houses. And they all go there and agree because it's like perfect publicity stunt for all of their work. So maybe the sales of their books will be, you know, go through the roof. They find out that it's actually a haunted place. And this is apparently very much an ode to the horror genre. It just excites me. So I could read that. Another book that I could read is a book that you'll see in an upcoming haul. I was kindly sent this book, Friends Like These by Kimberly McCrae. I really enjoy her writing. She thinks through all of her characters. Her characters feel real, and that doesn't always happen in thrillers. You know what I mean? If you read thrillers, you probably can understand what I'm talking about. So this is about friends that are there for each other through thick and thin, and also about friends that you'd not want in your life. So they get together in the Catskills years after college is over. And I think there is something that happened in college that they have been protecting each other with, a secret that they need to keep for the duration of their lives, or I think something terrible is going to happen. So they're very loyal to each other until people start telling bits of the secret, I believe, to other people. You know, that can be forgiven, but like, we must protect each other. So I have a feeling they're all going to get together and then someone's going to get killed. That's how I feel. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it does sound good. And it's red. I think it really works for this outfit. Yes. And so does Kill Creek. Yes. Yes. We agree. I don't know if we agree. I can't hear you. Huh? What are you saying? Everything's fine. All right, moving on. We're going to do the last prompt. This one. Hype. Ooh, oh, I haven't gotten this one have I ever gotten this one? I don't know. So I need to go to my shelves and look up books with a lot of hype. Mostly on BookTube, I think. BookTube, maybe Bookstagram. Let me go and check it out. Is the camera, is it okay? I did really well for a good long time without knocking over the camera, and here, I knocked it over trying to get back into my seat. All right, I have 2 books, hyped books. The first book is, I think, hyped by the general world because it's just been adapted into a series on HBO, I think. This is 9 Perfect Strangers by Liane Moriarty. I was a very bad girl and got the ARC for this in 2018, didn't read it. That always makes me feel really badly when I'm sent a book and then I don't read it. In any case, looking on the positive, I'm going to read it now, potentially. This is about, I think, 9 perfect strangers who meet at a health resort, and they're all there to get a refresh. For one reason or another, I don't think you find out until you get right into those days. They're there for 10 days, and they, one by one, start to feel that there's something wrong about the charismatic owner of this retreat. I think it starts with Frances, who is a best-selling romantic novelist. She's not doing great in her personal life, but she really starts to question the owner. And then, I don't know, she talks to other guests there, and they all start questioning the owner, but will they get away before it's too late? I don't know, but that sounds like a lot of fun. Might be a good one to read on audio for me. And then the other one is a very hyped book here on BookTube. This has been on my TBR for a good long time now. Jen Campbell loves it. Lauren Wade loves it. Who I have it all written down. Lauren in the books, Jen Campbell, Lauren Wade, Simon. They all loved this book. This is The Best Rock. How many times have you seen this on a TBR? I don't know. I could do the math, but it might make me really upset and embarrassed. This is about 3 women. And the reason I think this might be really great for October is one of the women is accused of being a witch, and she has to run away, run for her life. Then you go to, I think just after World War II, and we follow a woman who has moved into a new home with her husband. She feels unsettled, and I believe that several decades later, someone from her family moves into her home and starts going through her things. I guess that woman, Viv, who lived there just after World War II, has died. I don't know. But this is about the violence against women that men can inflict on women. It sounds incredible. All of these booktubers that I trust so much adored it. It's got a witch in it, or someone being accused of being a witch. This is the perfect time. So April, if you're watching this, editing April, put this first, okay? Put this at the tippy top. That's it, guys. This was a long TBR. I hope you don't mind. I hope you got cozy. I have missed you guys for sure. And cheers to a wonderful, wonderful Halloween reading month. I will see you very soon. Bye.